What's going on, everyone? Today we are going to be doing a comparison video, and I will be giving you my top 5 things between the Smallrig B20 bicolor light and Zhiyun's newest light, the G200. So the first thing that we are going to be looking at is going to be the case itself. Now, Smallrig has more of your traditional case when it comes to carrying these type of lights, right? They are more of like the traditional stuff. Like I said, you have some great padding when it comes to transportation. Have this nice custom inserts. Everything fits in like it should. You have this thick foam padding, and then you also have a hard plastic frame around the actual light, the actual box itself, or the carrying case. So that's one of the features that I love about this. You know, if you are going back and forth, and this is going to kind of get put into like places where things are going to get on top of, having a hard frame like this is definitely super convenient to have. When it comes to the Zhiyun, now this kind of reminds me of a gimbal box, right? It's very soft plastic, right? It's not going to give you that same type of support that something like Smallrig would, or even Aperture has things like that. Newer makes carrying cases like this. But with this one right here, I guess it's because it's so small, they were able to pack it in to a box like this. It does have straps, so nothing's gonna move, but it doesn't have the same type of foam around the case, so carrying this. So that's just something to consider. It's still a pretty decent case. You know, it has a lot of what you expect, carrying pouch, and it also has the ability to put your card there, which for me is super convenient. But as you can see, this thing is tiny. If we were to compare it to the Smallrig, you can possibly put 1, 2, 3 of these carrying cases for the Zhiyun in one place of the Smallrig. So if space is a factor for you, then maybe the Zhiyun might be a better fit for you. Now, when it comes to build quality, I'm gonna pull both of these out right here. Now, first and foremost, you have to acknowledge the size difference. How Zhiyun was able to get this much light into such small spaces is crazy, right? They're definitely pioneering. If you see the size difference, you can essentially put 3 of these LED lights next to one of this Smallrig. Zhiyun is going to come more of a traditional light. You see a lot of lights like Aperture have your power adapter separate from the actual light, right? So that's going to be one of the biggest difference between both of these, where everything is compact on the Smallrig light in comparison to the Zhiyun. One of the things that kind of is always tough for me with Smallrig, with these lights at least, is the plastic aspect of it. It does feel very plasticky, right? If this light is not going to move and not going to go anywhere, I think you'll be fine. Even for me, I carry this to shoots and different commercials that I do, and I carry it in the carrying case, and so I never have any issue. But I remember when I first got it, especially like the tightening aspect to be able to move the light around. I always felt like if I over tighten this, I felt like I was gonna break it in comparison to the Zhiyun. The Zhiyun feels like it's definitely a lot more durable as far as from a quality aspect. It just feels like, I'm not saying that this plastic is better than this one, but it feels like it. Right, so the Zhiyun is going to have a fan on the actual light itself, and also on the actual power adapter. So when it comes to fan noise, The fan for the Smallrig is on the bottom, but it does have vents up here also, which is a nice feature. The Smallrig is very, very quiet. I forgot what the dB was that Smallrig says that it actually runs, but it's very quiet. I've never had any issues with this light on a video shoot as far as making noise. The Zhiyun is a little bit louder. I would say maybe twice as loud as the Smallrig. Still pretty low in you know, as far as the sound goes. It's not going to affect your shoot if you're out and about. So that's a nice feature. Both, like I said, the light and the power adapter have the fans in them, and they both run, but I've never run into any issues when it comes to that aspect of it. So one thing about the Smallrig that I had mentioned before from the plastic aspect, I have both of these buttons right here, the plastic that was on them, both of them cracked and they broke. I reached out to Smallrig and they said that they were going to send me some, but they ended up not sending it to me, and I never ended up following up with them. Now, both of these lights are Bowens mounts, so they are, you can put soft boxes on them, lanterns. You know, most nowadays, everything is more universal with the Bowens mount, which is nice. The Smallrig has a little bit of a give here, but I've never had any issues with that. And the Zhiyun, as you can see, it's nice and sturdy. Now maybe over time this can probably run into that issue, but it always feels very secure when I am putting that on there. Both of these lights are bicolor, so they will run from 2700 Kelvin all the way to 6500 Kelvin, which is super nice. The Smallrig coming in at 220 watts versus the Zhiyun at 200. But there is a feature that the Zhiyun brings that if you hold both of these buttons right here, it will actually go from 200 watts all the way to 300 watts. So that right there is super convenient and a very nice feature if you are needing more power. Maybe you're in a bright room or shooting outside. That might be something that would be very beneficial for you also. As far as values go, I think the Smallrig says the CRI value on it is 95 plus, where the Zhiyun says it's 95, and then the TLCI for the Smallrig is 96 plus, where the Zhiyun is 97, which means you're going to get great color accuracy across the board with these lights. As far as from a mobility aspect, the Smallrig gives you the ability to move at 270 degrees on this light right here, opposed to the Zhiyun only does about 180 degrees. So something to be considered if that's important to you. That's not a really bad factor for me, because that's plenty of mobility from my end. One feature that I like of having the power adapter separate from the light is that on the Smallrig, you have the main menu on the actual light itself. Once you get this light in the air, you're not going to be able to mess with this screen, right? Either you have to keep bringing the light up and down, or you have to get a chair. So it's very convenient. So once this light is in the air, you need to use the app to access the menu on this particular light. Where on the Zhiyun, you have that on this monitor, right? This is going to give you the ability to dim the light however strong you want it, and it's going to be able to control your color temperature. Like I had mentioned before, holding both buttons is going to trigger the 300 watt capability that this light does. And then if you, which is very nice, it comes with a strap, so you can put it on the C-stand. And once this light is in the air, you have full control from here. Moving on to apps, right? Both of these have apps. The Smallrig, it is a love-hate relationship I have with that thing. When it works, it's great, but I have found myself, if I don't go into it very often, I have to send codes to myself to access it. I found myself having to pair it multiple times. I've found myself struggling to pair it with the Bluetooth, which is definitely a frustrating aspect of it. If you're on a shoot and you're having issues with your gear, that just takes up more of your time, right? When you're on a shoot, you don't want to be wasting time on trying to get things to connect. You want it to connect right there and then. So I've had that issue with the Smallrig. I've gone to shoots also where I could not connect to the Bluetooth at all. So I find myself adjusting the light back and forth. You know, having to do that is definitely frustrating. And with the Zhiyun, I didn't have that issue with their app. As soon as I opened up the app, I turned the light, I hit add a light, it just popped up right there. Didn't have any issues with that. So from the aspect of the app, I definitely want to give it to Zhiyun because of the connectivity. But they both do what they need to do. Smallrig does also when it actually works. Another feature that the app does have is that with the Smallrig, you have 9 effects that come with this particular light. So things like lightning, paparazzi, flame, breath, parting mode, lightning, you know, faulty bulbs, all that kind of stuff. I think it has a 9 in total. So that's, if that's something that's important to you, the Smallrig will offer it. As far as that, the Zhiyun light does not do that. It does give you some ability to, like, if you want tungsten, you'll click on that, it will just bring it down to 2700, or bulb, and then, you know, it will bring it down to 5600 Kelvin, but it doesn't have any of those effects that the Smallrig has. So if that's important to you, the Smallrig is going to be able to give you that where the Zhiyun is not. And then the last aspect is going to be pricing. The Zhiyun is coming in at $379 for the setup that you see here, where the Smallrig is coming in at about $10 cheaper, so around $368. Smallrig has been known from time to time to run promotions when it comes to their lights. At the time of this video, this light was on a discount of $50. So they're always running those. So once again, if price is a factor and you want to go with something that's good, but you know, at a little bit of a discount, the Smallrig is definitely an option that you have. But that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you all found value in all of this information. If you guys have either of these lights, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment box over there. I love having those conversations with everybody. You know, if you've tell me how you guys use these lights. You know, maybe you've had some issues with them in the past, and I will leave descriptions on both of these lights on the comments and in the descriptions of the video. Those are affiliate links. They go such a long way on helping support this channel. So thank you once again for checking it out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.